Hello everyone, welcome back to Trading Edge. So today is part 5 of the price action and volume analysis series. So today we'll do a case study on Mahindra & Mahindra chart on 30 minutes time frame. So first of all, we will analyze the price action and the subsequent volume activity, okay? And then we'll add the market structure and look for low risk, high reward, high probability trade setups in the markets. Also, it will certainly increase your accuracy and also efficiency in the markets. So before we start, do hit the like button and also subscribe to my channel to never miss any update. Okay, so let's start. So here is the chart of Eminem. So as you can clearly see, Eminem is in a very strong downtrend. Okay, here the supply is very strong and the demand is very weak. Okay, so here you can say that supply is overcoming demand very aggressively in Mahindra & Mahindra. That's why prices are in a very strong downtrend and it is going towards the south. Okay, so now compare the volume. Here see the price behavior and see the subsequent volume activity. 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 10. So multiple selling bars with good volumes we are seeing in this established downtrend in Eminem. So this is an indication that bears are in control in this market. Okay, now what happened here? For the first time we are seeing very high volume. And what is this candle? This is a Indecision candle, Doji candle. So this is an indication that after this strong and established uptrend and after this strong selling pressure, now buyers are trying to defend this level, because after this huge volume prices have formed a Indecision candle. So buyers have tried to defend this level at this price areas. So this is the first sign. Okay, so otherwise if this was all selling pressure, the candle should have formed like this. Okay, this should have been the candle formation if this was all selling pressure, because after a strong selling pressure volumes have increased and we are seeing a Indecision candle. This is an indication that buyers are coming in the markets. This is the first sign. Okay, at this price areas. Now what happened? Now buyers tried to push the prices towards the upside. But what is this price behavior and volume activity telling us? Buyers are trying to defend this level and push the prices towards the upside, but overall we are in a downtrend. Okay, remember that. And then we are witnessing a very sharp selling momentum in the markets. Now after this Indecision candle, buyers tried for the first time to reverse the trend and continue the upward momentum. But here what happened? Again a price and volume divergence. Volumes are going up, but see the price movement. Prices are stalling. Prices are getting kept at this price areas, and see this divergence. Volumes have increased but the spreads have narrowed, and this is also a very strong reversal candle. Okay, so this is an indication that the sellers here are very strong. Still they are very strong and they are capping the upward price behavior. Okay, now what happened? Again prices opened around these levels and again we saw a sharp selling momentum. Okay, but see the volume now. Earlier at this price levels we are seeing a very sharp and strong volume, but now we are seeing a strong selling candle but the volumes are very low. So what is this indicating? Earlier at the same level we were seeing increase in volume but Doji formation, but now sellers have pushed the prices aggressively towards the downside and we are seeing a decrease in volume. although sellers have dominated in this candle, see the sharp selling momentum, but the volumes are low. So this is an indication that less quantities of shares have been exchanged between the buyers and the sellers, although sellers have won. Okay, sellers have won this battle, but the volumes are low. So this is an indication that either this level would sustain and buyers will defend this level and continue the upward momentum, or if buyers, even after this low volume selling, they are still not able to defend this level and continue the upward momentum, then we can say that after the break of this level we could see a potential downside momentum. Why? Because this was a low volume selling pressure. Okay, so expectation is that first time buyers defended this level very aggressively and pushed the prices towards the upside. Now sellers have dominated, but the volumes have decreased. Okay, so now buyers have the greatest opportunity to again defend this level and push the prices towards the upside. So if even after this low volume selling pressure buyers couldn't defend this level, then after the break of this level we could see a potential downside momentum, because now buyers should now get exhausted. So what happened after that? See the volume at Q and see the price movement. Huge volume activity, higher than the volume at P, but there is a Doji formation. So what is this indicating? That huge number of shares are getting exchanged between the buyers and the sellers, but the formation is a Doji candle. So this is an indication that although buyers are trying, they are trying to push the prices towards the upside, but remember we are in a strong downtrend. Okay, always remember the context. We are in a strong downtrend. Although buyers are trying, but still selling pressure is present in the markets. Okay, now high volume Doji candle. Okay, so buyers have tried, but again sellers proved to be very strong and they kept the upward price movement. Then again sellers push the prices towards the downside, but what happened? See the volumes have gone down, and here there is a price volume divergence. See these two candles, volumes have increased but the spreads are the same. These two candles spreads are the same but the volumes have increased. So what is this indicating? That at this price area still now buyers are trying to defend this level. Okay, so if this was all selling pressure, then the spread of the candle should have been formed like this, because it is double the volume of the previous bar. Okay, so this is also an indication that buyers are still trying to defend this level. Now we see very high volume and again an indecision candle. So what is the market trying to tell us? Low volume selling pressure, then sellers again trying, but there is a divergence between the price and the volume. Then high volume indecision candle, where it is forming, this is very important. The location of the candle formation and the subsequent volume is very important data the market is giving us. This is a very important zone. Okay, from here buyers tried. Okay, then again sellers tried, but with low volume. Okay, then we see a high volume Doji candle. So this is an indecision candle. As we are in a downtrend, we could say that buyers tried their level best, but still sellers were very strong and they pushed the prices towards the downside. They kept the upward price movement. Then again, when sellers were trying to push the prices towards the downside, we see a price and volume divergence. So these are all indications that buyers are coming in the markets and they are trying to defend this level aggressively. Then we saw high volume indecision candle again, then low volume selling candle. then similar volume buying candle, although at this candle sellers tried to reject the prices at this higher levels, but still it was a very good buying candle. Then very high volume buying candle. So what is this market trying to tell us? It is clearly indicating that there is a fight going on at this price area, and this price zone is very important for the buyers. That's why even after this strong downtrend, buyers are trying to push the prices towards the upside again and again. And even after this strong selling pressure, buyers are still defending this level very aggressively. Okay, then what happened? So we will add market structure and then we will look for potential trades. For now we will just analyze the price bar and the subsequent volumes. Okay, so then we saw a strong buying momentum. For the first time, with increase in volume, we are seeing a strong buying momentum. Earlier the buying pressure was weak. Okay, earlier the buying pressure was weak, but now the buying pressure have increased. Okay, so this is an indication that buyers are now in control and they are now trying to push the prices aggressively towards the upside. But what happened here? From here we saw sharp rejection, but after the strong buying momentum, prices are holding at this supply zones. Prices are forming a range at this supply zones. Okay, so now this is an indication that buyers are also very strong. Okay, otherwise if they were not strong, then prices should have moved towards the downside very aggressively, like here, but now the prices are consolidating. Now compare the volume. Z, see, huge volume activity, very low narrow spread. Huge volume activity at K, narrow spread. So what is this indicating? Again, there is a price and volume divergence. Z and K are huge volumes. Okay, huge volume, but the subsequent activity of the price is very narrow. So this is an indication that either the buyers or the sellers, they are capping the upside or the downside price behavior, and there is a fight going on at this important structural resistance zone also. Okay, so Z and K, this is indicating that there is a fight going on in the markets. We cannot say whether this is a buying pressure or selling pressure, because this is at a very important structural resistance zone. Buyers are trying their level best, but sellers are capping the upward price movement. Again, sellers are trying to push the prices towards the downside, but again buyers are trying to defend this level. So this is an area of indecision, okay, at the resistance zone. Then what happened? Again sellers push the prices aggressively towards the downside. Okay, but now there is a very important point. When after this huge volume activity, prices broke this important support zone, we see a very strong downside momentum, but the volumes have gone down. The volumes are going down, although prices are moving towards the downside, but the volumes are also going down. So we could say that yes, that supply is strong. There is no doubt about that. Supply is strong, but the force with which it is going down now has become weaker and weaker. Okay, and then we see a price and volume divergence at these two candles. See how beautifully it works. Similar sized volume, but the spreads have narrowed. Okay, similar sized volume, but the spreads have narrowed, and we are also seeing a decrease in the selling pressure. sellers have tried, but the selling pressure is going down, and then we see a price and volume divergence at a critical location. This is very, very important. The location is very, very important in volume and price behavior analysis. See, from here, earlier buyers have tried, but when the selling pressure is now strong, but the volumes are going down, and we see a price and volume divergence at a critical location, we could say that this breakdown could be a potential fake out. Okay, remember there was a high volume activity, Doji formation, low volume selling pressure, then again sellers tried, volumes have increased, but there is a divergence between the price and the volume. Then we see increase in the buying pressure. Okay, then at these areas we see a swelling of the volume, but price movement is very, very narrow. Okay, so here there was a very, very huge fight, but then again sellers proved to be very, very strong, and they again push the prices towards the downside, but in this selling pressure the volumes have gone down. Volumes are going down, although the sellers are winning the battle, but the selling pressure is reducing, and then we see a divergence at the important critical location in the price and the volume. Okay, and then what we see, strong buying momentum. So after breaking this important structural support zone, why the prices couldn't continue the downward momentum, and then we see a huge upside momentum with increase in volume. Why? After testing once, twice, thrice, 4 times, prices have broken this important zone. So if sellers were now very, very strong, then they should have continued the downward momentum, but after breaking this level also, we are seeing a strong upside momentum. So this is an indication that now the upward resistance zone, which the sellers have defended very, very aggressively, now will potentially break, and the prices will continue its upward momentum, because now we are seeing a very, very strong buying momentum with increase in volume after a fake out with price volume divergence and decrease in the selling pressure. Okay, so I hope you got something very, very important learning. So now we will add market structure and look for high probability trade setups. So here, as you can see, after this strong buying momentum, there was a consolidation phase going on at the resistance zone. Okay, so sellers are trying to push the prices towards the downside, and buyers are also very, very strong, and they are sustaining the price below the resistance zone. So if here prices broke this important resistance zone, we could take a potential buy entry here. But what happened? Prices eventually broke down this important support zone, which is this very, very important resistance the sellers are holding very, very aggressively. So we could take a sell trade here for the fast target around this levels. Why? Because there was high volume activity. Okay, high volume activity that was going on at this price areas, but still buyers were not strong enough to break this level and continue the upward momentum. So eventually, remember, we were in a very, very strong downtrend. So again, when this important structural support zone got broken, we can enter here, stop loss here, first target should have been around this level. Okay, So now see, this was not a fake out, this was formed at a very important trend line support zone. We are seeing selling pressure of poor quality and price volume divergence formed at the price and volume divergence formed at a very important structural support zone. Okay, this was a very important structural support zone. So after this price behavior, see this important support zone, when it got broken, if sellers were very strong, then they should have continued the downward momentum. But after breaking this level and taking support at the trend line, we are seeing a strong buying momentum. So what is this indicating? If sellers, the selling was very powerful and strong, then sellers should have continued the downward momentum. Remember, we are in a very strong downtrend, but what happened? Immediately prices reversed by taking support at the trend line. So this is an indication that buyers are still in control at this price levels. Okay, and then we saw a strong buying momentum, and eventually broke this important structural resistance zone. Remember, this level was defended very aggressively by the sellers, but now this level is tested once, twice, 3, 4, 5. So at fifth attempt, prices broke this level with good volumes after a trap. This is a potential trap for the sellers. Although there was a trend line support here, but most of the people don't use trend line support, they just use the horizontal structural support. So here there is a potential fake out for the breakdown sellers. This was a sell trap. Eventually prices moved up towards the upside aggressively with good volumes after a fake down or fake out, whatever, and we see a breakout with good volumes which was tested multiple times earlier. And this is a very important point. See this volume and see this spread. Huge volumes, narrow spread formed at the resistance zone. So if this was all supply pressure, then with this kind of volume, this candle should have formed like this. This should have been the selling candle. But after this huge volume also, there is a very narrow spread formed at the resistance zone after a potential fake out. Remember, okay, always combine multiple factors. 1-time rejection, 2-time rejection, 3-time rejection, 4th-time rejection, 5th time it broke this level with very strong volumes after a bear trap. Okay, although this was not a trap, but this was exactly at the trend line support. But most of the people don't use trend line support, they just use horizontal structural zones. So there is a double confirmation that this was a bear trap, strong buying. After the bear trap, there is a strong buying momentum. So this is also an indication that bulls are very aggressive and powerful at these price zones. Then we see a price and volume divergence formed at the resistance zone, which was tested multiple times, and also saw a potential fake out. So eventually when these levels got broken again, we could have entered here, stop loss here, and see the huge upside momentum after that. Okay, so why we will enter here? Why? Always ask yourself this question: what are the reason and logic of entering here. Okay, why? Because after defending this level once, twice, 3, 4, sellers had the best opportunity to now break this important zone and push the prices towards the downside. But what happened? Although this was very good selling, but the volumes were going down, so this was indicating that sellers were losing momentum, and then we saw a divergence between the price and the volume. This was a same volume, but the spreads have narrowed and formed where? Exactly at the trend line support zone. And then we saw a sharp buying momentum with the increase in volume. Then there is a price and volume divergence where formed at the resistance zone. And eventually this is a 2-bar reversal setup. Sellers push the prices towards the downside from this resistance zone, then buyers aggressively fought back and pushed the prices towards the upside. And then eventually when this level got broken, we can enter here with stop loss here and see the huge upside momentum after that. And this is also a trend channel breakout. So multiple confirmations, 2-bar reversal setup. This was again a bear trap, price volume divergence, potential fake out, weak selling momentum. Okay, and then prices eventually broke this important resistance zone, so we can enter here, stop loss here, and see the huge upside momentum after that. So I hope you got something very, very important learning from this video. If you find it useful, do like, share and subscribe to my channel, and also do comment down below if you have any queries related to this video. I will definitely try to answer each and every of your questions there. And also share it to your friends so that people also can get benefit out of this. Okay, so having said that, see you in the next video. Until then, it's bye from my side. Take care everyone. Bye.